Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. He is Commander Cockings.
He's kind of Foley.
And we have a topic that might phase you a little bit. Well, I'm personally not phased by it, but you might be.
I mean, I'm hoping not, or you could be blown away at least. Okay, I'm hoping you're blown away, but in a good way.
Maybe you'll be stunned by our
Yes. Wow.
our in-depth analysis. I don't know.
And there's also going to be a history of time, timeline of rifle evolution, which is quite interesting at the end. But Stuart, did you notice that Lower Decks might have made a giant continuity fluff, which also seems incredibly intentional, so it's confusing?
I didn't until you pointed it out, and then it's like, clearly, yes.
Yes. So in episode 2,
of season 5, Shades of Green.
Well, it's now a Federation world, but like that day, right? Give or take. So this is not a Starfleet controlled. Everything is their own culture, their own tech. And yet the cleaning droids, which are hilarious, in a random rich guy's mansion, are equipped with a pistol and a Star Trek Picard season 1 phaser rifle.
Picard season 1? That's like in the future from Lower Decks.
It is, isn't it? And if they were to show that now and it be canon, then those are now old rifles already.
And not Starfleet issue, you'd think.
Well, that also a fair point. Now, you could just say, oh, they had this asset lying around. No, this is custom drawn for this episode, which is weird because it doesn't make any sense. But let's show, am I wrong? Maybe it's a close version, Stuart. We know I'm not. The next view highlights, I mean, clearly, visibly looks like, and it's a pretty detailed drawing. It could have been blockier, it could have been less shapes, and it would have been like, oh, it's close. Pretty darn similar. To remind the tremendous audience, here is a phaser rifle in its iconic scene. Looks pretty similar, but is it identical? What do you think?
Well, the color's different, but other than that, yep, pretty identical.
Well, it was 20 years before, yeah. Here's it compared. All the views from the episode that are different, and then both the on-screen and the prop version of the rifle. Now, as you can see, they put so much effort into making it identical, the Lower Decks team, from various angles.
That being said, the one from Picard has a display screen. This one does not, which means it's an earlier iteration of the same design.
Or the robots didn't turn on.
Sure, but there's no like visible screen.
There's also no grilling at the back, right? There's always some level detail they're missing. So, but I mean, they included the everything. It's got the double barrel. It's got the cut into the light. It's got. I mean, this is a very well drawn replica phaser rifle, decades early. Now, I'm not against the rifle in Picard being old, but certainly not how it was framed, and also not how it was designed. It was designed to be. I mean, you can focus on the less arena, so you just grabbed a random old rifle, but you're adding a lot of layers, which I don't think they thought going in.
Maybe, and playing devil's advocate here,
yep.
Maybe, this world got assimilated into the Federation, obviously.
Great phrase, assimilated.
Where they're getting rid of their capitalism, and, this is clearly like a rifle from this culture. Maybe Starfleet saw the design, thought, hey, that's really cool. It actually kind of resembles some of the designs we have. Let's, you want to be our arms dealer for these guns, so you want to, provide the Federation with some, and then they got, they built a factory. Took years to build the factory, get things up and running for Starfleet standards. And
oh yeah,
dished them out, and there you go. They became Starfleet.
Or this culture, black market bought some of the top rifles at the time and equipped them to their cleaning robots.
Maybe this.
Which you could do, right? I'm sure a Ferengi could have stolen some.
Maybe this rich man's mansion that we're in, he, is like the Elon Musk of this planet, invented time travel and went forward in time and grabbed these. And there's it's Star Trek. You can come up with so many explanations.
What I'm trying to say is this is not an accident, and this is a now 100% canon secondary point of consideration, which does change the outlook on the design. The way it's presented is no longer the way it can be looked, because here it is in basically the same form. So let's look at the context, right? Here is the phaser rifle era set. And I am including the Prodigy rifle, which of course is a weird one because it is a very much kids show in terms of its design work and different. So, and you have to physically build it, and also designed for kids to hold, because of course the irony is if you build a prop, you got to work out who's using it, right? When they built the first contact phaser rifles, it considered it was going to be Brent and Patrick, and they look normal. And then when Janeway holds one in Voyager, it looks a bit too big for her because it's a full-size rifle. In Star Trek Picard, Jerry's the one who's written to use it, so the rifle's actually smaller, much smaller than the Picard rifle, than the first contact rifle, because it looks normal on her, but it's now small if a 6-foot security guard wearing it. So the Prodigy rifle is for kids only to ever use, so it's kind of proportioned, right? These are small notes, but you got to always, who you're designing for and how does that affect the design language, just saying. And we are including lower decks because it is a rifle. It is not identical to the other one, although it could be stylistically the same thing, but their version. We don't know, right? But it's here. So that's the timeline. First, what do you think seeing it? Because I've never done a rifle comparison like this. What do you think?
I'm intrigued. The Prodigy rifle actually looks like a good progression from the 2380 rifle, honestly. But yeah, this is quite interesting. I will be putting on Starfleet in there for this one.
Because that's 18 years early. That's not a couple. That's a very long time. That is. I mean, look how many. 18 years. Is that the difference between the TNG and the First Contact? No, it's less. So they went through 4 rifles, and somehow this planet had. So if it's 18 years old, then Rios is using a relic of a design.
I think it's fair to say that there's a variety of Starfleet rifles in service at the same time for different mission parameters, perhaps. So it's not necessarily one's replacing the other. It's that they could have multiples to choose from.
I mean, you say that, but these dates represent the first and last time we ever saw them, and they're shockingly consistent to the date to finish and to end. So there's a sense of one after the other, and we never see that rifle, like the pre-rifle again. The TNG rifle does not come back in once it goes in DS9. So the TNG rifle does not exist in Voyager or First Contact. The compression rifle does not exist in First Contact or Lower Decks. Vice versa, right? So there is some semblance. I mean, maybe there's the TNG rifle existing on Intrepid class, but no one reaches for it. And, are you going to pick an old rifle when the new one's next to it? No?
Well, the compression rifle, I think, is a specialist one as well. So it clearly is specialist just by its design, and compression rifle, it just has a unique vibe to it. So, but
it was Voyager's only used rifle, except the few times it wasn't, and it was used until season 7, from season 1, season 7. So it was their main rifle, except like 4 times it wasn't.
The interesting thing too is in Deep Space Nine, we had the First Contact rifles, but they didn't use them. They used the original 2367 all the time. So, and then the one thing that's making me sad about this chart is you don't have the TOS rifle on here.
Well, it doesn't reflect the evolution of rifle design.
That's not even fair. It started them.
Yeah, but then I got to include Discovery, and I got to include Stranger Worlds. I got to include...
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Those are different universes. It's fine.
Yes, you do. But I love the fact that, yes, I mean, I wouldn't say Prodigy links particularly, because as in the Picard rifle's great. It's just a bit too small. That's my only thing. But it obviously is a First Contact with its own thing. But there's a certain curvature, connectiveness that the Prodigy rifle has. But as you said, compression rifle is clearly a slightly different slant as a Prodigy rifle. Like I didn't include the EVA rifle because it's an EVA rifle, not a phaser rifle. It is, but it's not standard design slant. It is a variant, right? Although it is worth saying that one of the Defiance or the Akira beamed 2 officers in Voyager with compression rifles to the Prometheus. It was still a rifle used in a standard configuration as well. That was just because they didn't want to grab the rifles from the other prop plant, I guess. Don't know. But 18 years, that's significant. And right after Lower Decks, obviously it is Lower Decks era, and before Prodigy. I mean, it is an identical rifle, 99.9%, 18 years too early. If that's the case, then what is the rifle in Picard? Because they've changed so often, so much happens in Picard that would certainly want them to do more rifles. The phaser from Picard is so radically different to anything else. What is the rifle in the era of Picard then? Because clearly we don't see it.
You could say that with 7 of 9 being a Fenris Ranger, that she doesn't have modern Starfleet technology as well.
Well, she stole it off Rios' ship. It's off his racks.
Well, exactly. He's also not in Starfleet anymore, so it could just be an older rifle that was kicking around. Why waste a good weapon? because there's a new one available that's Starfleet issue. You can't really get your hands on it. Yes, Rios was a Starfleet officer at one point, but he hasn't been for a while. I don't know. I'm just saying it could be that it's a holdover, but the problem for me, the real problem with this whole thing is that it shouldn't be a Starfleet rifle because the cleaning
Random
droids
aliens
were equipped with it in some rich guy's house.
Mm-hmm.
And Starfleet wouldn't be handing out weapons during this time.
But
they're just bringing the planet in, you know? So.
Now, if this was because they were just some random guys, if those two were the president, and therefore they would be talked to, say, by a Ferengi in the meantime, and they bought rifles, I can buy that, but it still makes them incredibly old, and there'd be several variations in between. Now, I like the idea, personally, that this rifle is actually basically a submachine gun, because in the episode with 7, she fires it with like a submachine gun, which is not how any other phaser rifles ever have played. So that creates it as a sub-variant, because it's also smaller, it makes all the sense. Love that. Again, not how it was presented in the shows, per se, like, it wasn't ever said that, right? But if it is a submachine gun variant, kind of like in Elite Force 2, they have 3, I believe, which I actually think those are all pretty excellent variations. Makes sense, but then again, raises the question, what is the rifle in Picard? I would like to know. Why I did not see anything. Is it still the Prodigy rifle? Doubt it, because remember, Prodigy, that rifle was still in service up until the attack on Planitia. So that might be the standard rifle. I hope it isn't, because it's low detail, and I hope the phasers aren't, because I don't like them very much. Or the tricorders, same thing. But if it is that, if that's then, so you've got the flashback to whatever, it's confusing, right? It's confusing.
It's almost like different teams are working on different shows.
I know, but someone intentionally made this.
I know they did. I was talking about the Prodigy thing specifically.
Well,
also,
yeah.
It's test ship, test equipment. That's fine. We've kind of talked about that.
Except it was the Voyager A crew that used them, so not test ship. No, that's why I went back and checked, because 2382. See, I spent time on this, Stuart. 2382 is when the ProStar was lost, which is when that's the equipment that the Voyager ProStar crew had to hand, and 84 is when the Voyager A had them in season 2. So hence we know they existed between those two periods. So those are important, because those change the date range, because it's not just one or the other. It's, you got to think in unison there. So yeah, really interesting. This is what canon does. It's why you'll be careful. This is why you've got a whatever. And then the irony is they could use any other rifle, and it would have made more sense, because I would have bought that they bought a TNG rifle. It's 20-year-old tech, fine, but have literally be a thing that shouldn't exist yet, or couldn't, or might not exist yet. It could have been the Prodigy rifle. That would have been kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, it was an odd choice, and I didn't notice it on my 2 rewatches.
Whereas it stood out to me like the sorest of thumb. Like, I'm a big prop guy, right, and rifle guy.
Yeah, you were like, there's a continuity thing. Did you notice it? And I'm like, nope. I'm going to watch it again anyway. I'll take a look for it. Look for something. Couldn't see it. So thank you for sharing this, because I know nobody else has noticed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that one artist, yeah, because there's such a sell point in the episode, the cleaning robots, and this is their thing they're using. As you said in the episode, they are mopping up dirt with a phaser rifle. So
I should have had it on disintegrate the dirt. That would have been funny. That would have been funnier than mopping.
Well, yeah, it definitely should have had poor trigger safety and go like 7. Oh no, the floor, and there's just like holes. You could have made the joke funny, right? There's places you could have gone with that. But yeah, let us know what you think, guys, and so this is what I try and do, tech and stuff, and let you guys know.
Do you have a solution to this conundrum? Put it in the comments section down below. Let us know your thoughts, your theories. What do you think about what we talked about, this progression of phasers? What do you think of the designs? Let us know in the comments section below. Make sure you like the channel, or like the video, and also like the channel. But subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to show you like the channel. And click the notification bell icon to all, so you don't miss any edited content like this, or the lives where we do reviews and just talk with you guys and hang out with you, because you guys are awesome, and we have a great time with our community.
Or if you want to support us directly, then you can via Patreon or join the channel. Both are monthly helps that do let us go Packard style, but hopefully more suave and coolness. Maybe. That's monthly, helps us out, like I said, or one-time donations by super chatting during a live. That's the discussion with us and our wonderful community. You guys know each other. You guys know us. Have your say as part of the conversation. Also with thanks. If you like, oh my God, I didn't realize this, etc., then let us know by, saying hello, etc. Or you can help us via PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com. Any and all support is absolutely essential, so thank you in advance. Is there anything else? Maybe shirts down below. Thank you in advance. Again.
That's right. So until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
He's Foley.
See you later, guys.